Welcome back to BST, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on yet another episode. We have a fun one today. There's a lot of stuff going on in sports right now, as I'm sure everybody knows. I did an episode yesterday, or it might have been the day before, talking about the NBA trade deadline. That was crazy. The NHL is now on its Olympic break, and that's going to be what we're going to be talking about today. Olympic hockey, that's kind of what I'm going to be tuning in to the Winter Olympics for. I know, I mean, it's just...
Not the curling?
I mean, curling's a cool sport and all, but I am craving USA versus Canada gold medal matchup.
In curling.
In anything. I want a ton of U.S. medals at the end of the day, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Super Bowl, which, I mean, biggest game of the year. It's tomorrow. And we'll talk about this real briefly, but like, I don't know about you, but I feel like this is one of the least hyped Super Bowls in a while. Like, in terms of just like, I haven't
tuned in for anything.
I don't feel like it doesn't feel like it's the Super Bowl tomorrow.
No.
It feels like it's another game.
Well, it's just because it's just not really. It doesn't have the Mahomes, the Josh Allen. It doesn't have the big
draw. Game feel that. Like,
Sam Darnold just doesn't put butts in the seats. You know, he really doesn't.
I mean, I hope it's a great game, and we'll get to our predictions and stuff for that later. But
Stafford May would have been really good.
I
mean, just in terms of the two guys going up for MVP,
the two MVPs
squaring off in the Super Bowl would have been great.
That's fair. So we'll get to all that, but let's start with the Olympics. They did the opening ceremony yesterday, which is the stupidest thing ever.
Well, I mean. I don't know if it's the stupidest thing ever.
You don't need to have this super long opening ceremonies on.
Well, you don't. You don't need to have 3 hours. And I watched it. Yeah, it was a lot. The parade of countries. I mean, it's kind of cool. That seems to take the longest. Cool with that. But I actually liked how they did it because it was kind of the first time they've done it in multiple locations where the games are being played in Italy. And, you know, because if they didn't, there were, you know, hundreds of athletes that couldn't walk because they had to be competing the next day, right? They couldn't travel 300 miles to Milan. So, yeah, I thought it was good. There's, you know, I've watched so many Olympics over the years, and the opening ceremony, it's always really cool watching the torch come in. Seeing what creative way you did, what creative way they're gonna light the torch. That's always been fun. I mean, you know, years ago in Atlanta Summer Olympics, Muhammad Ali getting the torch, that was really cool because you just don't know who that is. I think it's tougher in other countries because we're not familiar with who those people are, who the big names are necessarily in some of them. So, but yeah, all in all. 3.5 hours or whatever is way too long.
And just the opening like choreography and like dancing stuff, I could do with that.
Yeah, I mean,
personally,
it is
what it is.
I think they should just start with the athletes walking in and go from there.
I agree. But yeah, what we saw last year from the Four Nations, it is going to be that and even more this year because the Four Nations was a recently made tournament, and you were competing for a recently made title that has no prior history. And I mean, just what we got in terms of competitive games in that was so awesome. I mean, nearly every game was competitive, and especially like Sweden facing Finland, that rivalry there, and then obviously the Canada-US rivalry. That was awesome. It's gonna be like that, but on steroids. Because I mean, you're competing for Olympic gold, and it's the first time since I don't know when, decade plus since they've had NHL hockey players in the Winter Olympics. So this is gonna be an awesome.
This is the first one for you, right?
I assume
first one that you've watched or paid attention to.
Well, yeah, certainly.
That has NHL players in it. Yeah, that's.
I mean, I don't know when the last one was, but probably mid 2000s.
Sochi Olympics, I think.
What year was that?
2000. I don't know. 2014.
Yeah,
2014. I think that might have been the last one.
Because that was
TJ Oshie and the and the shootout.
So yeah, decade plus since we've seen
that was the last one. Yeah, Are you predicting 3 fights in 9 seconds with USA Canada in the Olympics?
I don't think so. I think last year that was basically just the Chucks who said we're just gonna fight, and I'm not sure they do that this year. But it will be interesting to see how chippy it gets. I assume we probably will see a fight at some point. But it's just going to be a couple good games, and I don't know the exact groupings or whatnot, but it will be interesting to see how all these teams place their lines. Because, I mean, during the preliminary stages, I mean, these are all players that don't play with each other. And, you know, there are certain examples, like on Team USA, you have Quinn Hughes, you have Brock Faber, who are on the same team. So I think more of the D pairs, like you have Taves, you have McCarr. But other than that, like, I think what was interesting about the Four Nations was it was just really fast, and they had to find out what worked really fast. I think they're going to have more time in this with the preliminary stages, stuff like that, to figure out what works before we get to the really big games, like the medal games. And I'm very interested to see how any of the countries figure out how their line pairings work, because and I've heard about this talked a lot in terms of how the rosters were created. You can't just have like the best players from each country on your roster, because it's not like McKinnon is built for like a fourth line role. Like, he has to be on the first line. And then if you're talking that, like, there's certain players who are just more of a scoring machine like McKinnon. And if you don't have that spot on your roster, like, it's smarter to just get like a tough, gritty guy. Like, you look at Team USA, they have guys like Trocheck who are down in the lineup, and JT Miller, which JT Miller is just like the worst human being alive in hockey, maybe. But I think things like that is what makes it interesting. And I know a lot of Canadians are super mad that Bedard was not on this roster. Celebrini did make it, so that will be interesting to see. But I think there's no argument that in terms of rosters, Canada is the best.
Oh, hands down.
But I will say, like, their goaltending is extremely weak.
Yeah. Canada goes in as the tournament favorite. They're the favorites for the gold medal.
But what's interesting, though, is last year we saw in the Four Nations, they had the best roster, but also Binnington played like playoff Binnington. And this year in the NHL, Binnington has been the worst goaltender in the league so far.
He's weird like that. I don't quite understand.
If he shows up, that's one thing.
I don't understand how he has this streakiness in him, but he's a big game player. That's kind of where he's always shown up, is in those big moments. Kind of not, kind of contrary to Hellebuck. Hellebuck's been like your best, regular season goaltender, and then in the big moments, he doesn't show up. But if you have to stack USA versus Canada, goaltending edge has to go to USA.
I agree.
Honestly, everyone, I think, is, well, me as well, hoping that it comes down to a Canada-USA gold medal. I hope that however the groupings go and the bracket is set up, I hope it's not a Canada-USA semifinal meeting.
Yeah, and then it gets over fast.
And then it gets over. We get that meeting in the earlier than we want to in the tournament, but hopefully it stacks up. I mean, the biggest question probably is, if not USA or Canada, who's a threat?
Switzerland. Let me look at their roster, but I remember looking at it and I was like, this team could actually be pretty dangerous. Let's see here. Can I get to a roster here?
Mm-hmm. So Sweden has always notoriously been one that's kind of in there. You got Landeskog, centering or captaining that group, but it's a lot of Elias Lindholm, Nylander from Maple Leafs, Marcus Johansson from Minnesota Wild, Philip Forsberg, on Sweden. You've got Gustafsson, Markstrom in net for them. Switzerland, man, going through a lot of these, you've got Sven Andrighetto. Maybe you know some of these guys.
So Timo Meyer, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think I got it here.
Nino Niederreiter.
Nico Heischer. And then
Roman Josi.
defensively, having Roman Josi and JJ Moser, who's been one of the better defensemen. And then
their goaltenders, I'm not too familiar with them.
I think they're kind of like a sleeper team to me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I think honestly, like, I know Finland and Sweden probably have the best chance to compete with the US and Canada, but I just think at the end of the day, like, it's the US, like, it's Canada, and then the gap is kind of big, and
it's too bad. It's too bad Russia doesn't have a team, because
I've seen a lot of people say that it's like,
Russia's team would be a contender.
Yeah, this isn't the best on best without having Russia in the conversation.
Certainly, if there's an upset along the way, I mean, you got Leon Draisaitl on Germany, but
Germany too.
But I don't know. Some of these other countries, they got one or two superstars on there. They might gel.
Well,
those guys have probably played together quite a bit longer than these other teams that
Germany,
are put together.
Like, their center depth with Tim Stützle and Leon Draisaitl will match up with Canada and the U.S. Like, honestly, that's probably a better combo than the U.S. has right now with Eichel and Matthews, most likely. So the problem is they just don't have quite the depth in terms of, like, NHLers.
That's true.
The only two countries that really compare in terms of NHLers are Finland and Switzerland, or not Finland and Sweden. So,
you got Pasternak, Nietzsche, and Palat on Czechia.
Czechia is interesting too.
You've got, is it Czechia? Is that how they say it, or Czechia?
I don't know.
Czechia. The Czechs. Let's call them the Czechs. Yeah. Was the Czech Republic back in the day. The Czech team, they're you don't want to sleep on them. They could definitely. You got Hurdle. I mean, they got some players on that team.
For any of those teams that don't have a lot of like any of the other teams who should be bad at what?
Karel Vejmelka.
Yeah.
Czech goalie.
And Dostal, he's pretty good.
Yeah, so I mean, dude, Czechia, Czechs, the Czech team, they could be tough. But honestly,
it depends on like who gets hot. If like Pasternak is scoring tons of goals, like they could definitely have an upset win here or there.
Well, let's see here. If we go look at the schedule coming up for these guys, so there's a couple days, that right now I think they're just spending time kind of warming up, or just practicing. First games start Wednesday. You got Slovakia and Finland. So it looks like your groups, if I go look at the schedule, let's see, if we look at the standings, give me the groups. Oh, it's stupid. This thing is not working well for me. For the Olympics, here we go. Trying to figure out what the groupings are. Well, we'll just go look here.
Here we go. I got it.
Got it?
So Group A is Canada, Czechia, Switzerland, and France.
Okay, so they're dealing with the Czechs. Canada's got to deal with the Czechs.
Switzerland.
So Pasta and those other guys.
And then Group B is Italy, Finland, Sweden, Slovakia.
Ooh.
So Finland and Sweden is going to be interesting.
Yeah, Finland and Sweden. I would expect Finland or Sweden to come out of there.
No disrespect to Italy or Slovakia, but you stand no chance. Group C is the United States, Latvia, Germany, and Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
So Germany versus the United States could get interesting, and those are the groups. So 3 groups.
Only 3 groups?
Yep. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. All right, what's your medal predictions?
Oh, man. I really feel like it's... I don't know, man. I feel like it's got to come down to USA, Canada. And honestly, I gotta feel like USA can pull that out.
I was gonna say this.
I feel like they will. They had Canada in that Four Nations game. They had them, right? And it came down to overtime, and it came down to people at our front door, and it came down to McDavid, right?
And Matthews had the shot in overtime.
And Matthews had the chance. Bennington stoned him. I just think the goaltending for Canada is going to let them down somewhere.
Well, that's the thing. It's like Bennington's been the worst goalie in the NHL.
And he's been your hot hand, but then you got Kemper and you've got Logan Thompson.
Kemper has not been as good as he was last year.
I think Kemper's been fighting some injury, but he's aging, right? He's kind of your older guy. This isn't Martin Brodeur and this isn't Patrick Waugh. So Canada's usually rolled into this leaning heavily on goaltending, and it is their weakest point right now.
Yeah,
it is their weakness. But if Bennington stops 3 goals and Canada can score 6 or 7 or whatever, right? They can. If he can stop 3, if he can only allow 3 goals and Canada can score 4, there you go. It doesn't matter. So I don't know. It's a question of who's gonna. This is a good question. If we had a poll, if we had a producer here and we were more of a budget, we could do a poll. Who is likely to show up, Bennington or Matthews? Bennington for Canada or Matthews for USA? Because I think if the USA is going to pull this off, Matthews has to be the guy. Matthews has to be the guy.
I think Matthews is going to show up.
He's yet to do it.
I just have a feeling this is his time.
This is his time. If you're out there, Matthews, and you're tuning into this low-budget podcast.
Well, listen, I mean,
you got to bring it, man.
He's been on a Maple Leafs team this year that has sucked, and he's been playing most of his minutes with Bobby McMahon as his left wing. Now he gets to go play with some truly, really great players. I think this is where he will step up to the plate and finally show that he can perform.
Canada has speed. I think the USA has speed, and I think they have physicality on their side.
Yeah, and that's why where them having like a guy like Trocheck and JT Miller in the bottom, we did see that the ice is smaller than an NHL rink, so it's going to be smaller ice. It's going to be tighter. It's going to be more condensed. Yeah. So I think that makes it a little bit more interesting and I think that's why a lot of teams wanted some bigger, tougher players to play because it's not going to be that international ice where they can. I mean, have you seen those games on international ice where it's like there's so much space and they're just weaving? And I'm like, could you imagine McDavid out there? Skating on that? I mean, he'd score so many goals.
Honestly, and honestly, that has been a problem for the North American hockey teams when they've gone and played on those international ice surfaces like that. I'm not sure why Italy has done it differently, but anytime that the USA or Canada has hosted the Winter Olympics, it's been NHL arenas, NHL rinks. So these are going to be probably more so similar to NHL. So, but most of these guys are all playing in the NHL. So I don't think it's going to create an advantage for any one team. But I don't know. I'm going to go home country, pick USA. But would I be shocked if Canada wins it? No,
neither.
I would not be shocked.
It could go either way. Honestly, I just think Team USA. They might not have the star names, like they don't have McKinnon, they don't have Makar, they don't have the superstars like that. But I think we have Quinn Hughes. He's pretty close to Makar in terms of just offensive skill. So I just think we have more underrated players than Canada. When you look at Canada's roster, you're like, damn, that's crazy good. But I think when you look at Team USA, it's like there's a lot of underrated guys here. I think
here's the facts of it. It is a failure to Canada if they don't win the gold. Yeah. They come into every Olympics expecting to win the gold. It's their sport, right? They created it. They feel like it's their sport. They dominate. I feel like for USA it's a success if they make the gold medal game.
Yeah.
But I'm getting close to where it's starting to feel like it's a failure if they don't win the gold.
I think for the U.S. now it is.
Yeah, because USA used to be more so centered in, hey, let's just make it, see what happens. But now they've got the talent, they've got the capability to do it,
Have to.
And I think they can win the gold.
I also think there's a chip on their shoulder from last year.
And don't get me wrong, if they meet in the semis and beat Canada, great. If there's an easier path for USA to win gold, all the better. But I don't know. I think we will be robbed as a fan base if we don't see Canada USA for the gold.
And I really hope it happens. That will just be absolute cinema. So I'd have the gold going in the U.S., silver going to Canada, and then for bronze, I'm going Germany.
Germany,
just with Draisaitl, Peterka, Stützle.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about Peterka, huh? I do like how Vemelka's been playing, so maybe Czechs. The Czechs might be in that game. Hard to say with the bronze, because Sweden and Finland are always there. You never know with those countries. They have good players.
Oh, for sure.
So bronze is too difficult for me to guess.
Yeah,
should be fun. I would not be shocked with any of those.
Mm-hmm. Should be a fun tournament. All right, let's move on to the Super Bowl. All
right.
First off, I want to go through some of these fun. They call them novelty prop bets because they're just like the most insane things ever. All right. First off, Super Bowl Gatorade color. What are you going with?
Oh. Well, I guess
the highest odds are orange.
I was thinking orange, actually. I was thinking orange Gatorade. I was thinking nobody goes red, nobody goes purple or blue, it seems like, right?
Well,
maybe blue. Blue gets in there.
Orange, yellow, green, and blue are all right.
I feel like orange and blue. Orange or blue. I feel like the Patriots would probably put red in theirs, and I feel like the Seahawks would go blue.
That would be interesting. So what's your final answer?
I have to go off who I think is going to win the Super Bowl.
Well, just whatever.
So the winning,
whatever you
I'm going to go blue.
Man, this one's tough. I'm going to go.
I feel like nobody does yellow.
Yeah, I'm trying to even think. I'm going to go blue as well. I think blue's the right answer. I think there's a chance that both teams have blue Gatorade.
There's a possibility because they both have blue in their colors, and I just think blue might be the one that they go with.
All right.
Feels more like the Seahawks would do that, but yeah.
All right. Over, under 115 seconds for the national anthem.
Ooh. Do we know who's singing it?
Let me see. Oh, Charlie Puth.
Charlie Puth, huh?
Puth.
I know who that is. Name. Yeah. Puth.
Yeah.
Okay. Over or under 115 seconds?
I heard a lot of people saying he's pretty efficient, so I'm going under.
Yeah, I don't think he'll draw it out. I think it'll go under.
That one's a tough one though.
Because that's 115, right? You can easily sing that song in under 2 minutes, right? So
this is interesting. It says Puth has an instrumental only version of the anthem on YouTube that clocked in at just 1 minute and 2 seconds.
Wow.
Okay, so
I'll go under.
Yeah, I think under. Heads or tails for the opening coin toss?
Boy.
Both are dead even.
Man,
obviously.
Well, yeah. Oh, do we know who gets to call it?
I don't know.
Who's the visitor?
I don't think we know. I guess the visitor is the Patriots, I believe.
Patriots are visiting?
Technically.
Well, I feel like everybody says tails. I'm going tails.
I'm going heads. I'll go heads.
For some reason, every time I think of it, I think tails. I don't know why.
Tails never fails.
Yeah.
All right. That one's kind of stupid. That one's stupid. That one's kind of stupid. All right, this is interesting. So this is like broadcast. So this is what they'll show on the broadcast. Which Bay Area landmark will be shown first? Golden Gate Bridge or Alcatraz?
Alcatraz. I think Alcatraz gets shown first.
I feel like they're going to show Alcatraz first as well.
Yeah.
They're going to pan into it right at the start of the broadcast.
I mean, it's, to me, truly, it's a toss-up.
All right, this one's fun. Will an unauthorized person, a.k.a. streaker, enter the play of field?
Ooh.
I feel like in San Francisco, yeah, I'm going yes. It's plus 300 odds say yes, so it's not favored.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no.
So, would you get in trouble if you bet on this stuff and you were the streaker? Like, how would they know that?
I don't know.
Put your life savings on it, and you're the. I think you probably would, but
yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Oh, okay, that's it. Okay, so let's get to predictions now. I'll start. I think this is going to be a decent game. I think this is going to be a game where the Seahawks are up by 7 for most of it, are able to just stay ahead of the Patriots. Listen, the Seahawks have dominated these playoffs. The Rams game was close, but they still played one hell of a game. They destroyed the Niners. They've been the best team all year, to be honest. They have the 12th best defense of all time, according to DVOA. They are just a very, very good football team. And the Patriots have a lot of good. I'm not sure they have a lot of great on their team. And I just think the Seahawks are going to outclass them. I would love a Patriots win because part of me cannot stand Seahawk fans at all.
Yeah. Can you maybe disinvite one of them to come this second half?
I can.
I mean, do you really want them?
Well, if they're losing, then yes, sure, come over and I can, and that would be nice.
I don't know, because that's what I envision.
Well, Jane wants to come over to do the podcast.
Oh, he does. Okay, so, he does want to come over.
Yeah.
Okay, well, tell him to come over at 9.
Well, that's better than
no, it's
Jock.
fine. Yeah, that's probably fine.
Because if the Seahawks are winning, Jock's going to throw that right in your face.
That's true.
So I think Jaden will be a little more even.
Okay, that's
but
fine.
It might be worse. I don't know.
Fine.
But yeah, I think this is be a game where the Seahawks are up 20-13 with 5 minutes left, and they got the ball, and it's like a Kenneth Walker touchdown or something to go up 27-13, and they win the game. And I'll go with Sam Darnold as my MVP. I think he's going to prove a lot of people wrong. And like a lot of people going into last week, they're like, well, against the Niners, you didn't really do much. This is a real game. This is the NFC Championship in your place against the MVP of the league. And he outplayed the MVP of the league, so and won that game off the back of his throws. So I think he goes into this game, does the same thing, and the Seahawks win 27-13.
Yeah. Well, I mean, outplayed the MVP. He didn't face a similar defense, though. So I mean, I'll just throw that out there right now, because I think if the tables were turned, I don't think I don't think Sam Darnold's gonna shred that Seattle defense. So
fair.
So outplayed the defense for the Rams, in my opinion. But
that's fair.
That being said, I'm gonna weigh in first from an emotional perspective here, right? Emotions into it. Okay, quite frankly, I would much rather see Sam Darnold win a ring before Drake May.
Fair.
I would much rather see Sam Darnold or JSN win a ring or Stephon Diggs.
The Emerald City Route Artist?
You were telling me about that. That's so funny. Yeah, the Emerald City Route Artist. Okay, that's a good one. I feel like I would much rather see them have success, and being a Packer fan, I would love to see Sam Darnold win a ring in Seattle to stick it to those Vikings fans that
true.
Freaking let this guy walk out of their building.
He's got to win a Super Bowl.
Unbelievable that you let Sam Darnold leave and you chose to go with JJ McCarthy.
I'm fired.
And I might eat crow because then they'll pull off this blockbuster that brings Joe Burrow there.
Oh, please stop.
Who knows, right? But okay, that aside, that is my emotional side of it, right? Because I think Drake May's a little young to win a Super Bowl.
Fair.
But if he wins one, hats off, right? No disrespect to Drake May. Now, and I'm not saying that my emotional take is, or that my logical take is different than that, or my whatever view of this game from a non-emotional perspective. I still don't know who Sam Darnold is, right? I still don't trust Sam Darnold.
Fair.
I don't know that I trust Drake May either, because Drake's young. Drake May's young.
He is.
What it's going to come down to is which Darnold shows up. Has Vrabel schemed something, because that front for the Patriots gets after the quarterback. They make the QB uncomfortable. So I think Darnold's going to have guys in his face. He's going to be uncomfortable, and it's going to be which quarterback manages that better. And May is more athletic and more mobile. So will May be able to make plays with his feet and escape a little bit? The last quarterbacks that Seattle's faced leading on to this run, I mean, let's go through who that was. I mean, last game of the season was, Brock Purdy, not really a mobile guy, right? Not really known for his feet, right? Then who did they play?
Brock
Purdy again. And yeah, same thing, right? Then they played Stafford.
Yep.
Right? Not mobile. So pocket quarterbacks where their guys could get on them. So Drake May is a big, strong dude that can get out of the pocket and make plays with his feet. So that's a tough task against Seattle, no doubt. But it's going to come down to can he make plays with his feet? And I think that's where they're the toughest. Seattle, I think, is getting pressure, bringing pressure with four guys, and how does that line for New England hold up? They're going to have some holes. That left tackle, that rookie, what's his name?
Will Campbell.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to have a better game. I feel like it's going to be a close game the whole day, I feel like. But ultimately, I just don't really see where the Patriots can win this game.
They have to play a perfect game.
Yeah, they really will. Or they just have to play a decent game and Seattle doesn't show. You never know with these. You just don't know.
The problem
is
with Seattle, we just haven't seen that. And even in games where it's like Sam Darnold hasn't shown up, it's like every single other player on the team has. And it's like they just really haven't had very many games this season where it's like, wow, two aspects of their game didn't show up.
And here's the thing. This is a weird year because nobody stands out as leaps and bounds better than anyone else. Well, it's just that Seattle's just been the more consistent team.
I feel like Seattle. I feel like I have let my hatred cloud my judgment.
No, I think it's a weird. I don't feel like they were leaps and bounds above. Like I don't know if they were good enough to go on the road and make it all the way. I don't know.
I think they have fans that travel.
I just think they play in one of the toughest venues for a road team to come in and win. I think Seattle got hot at the right time. I don't know that they're a generational team. I don't think they're a dynasty.
Well,
I think there's a lot of other teams that had they gotten a chance or ball bounced a different way, maybe could have found themselves right where Seattle is. So, I mean, they're clearly the best team in the NFC. We're going to find out if they're best team in the league.
I think
because I don't know if I'd say Patriots are the best team in the AFC. I don't know. Because I feel like a healthy Denver is probably in this game.
I just think it's to me it's just like when I try to predict these games, I look at avenues for different outcomes, and there's one road. It's a Seattle blowout.
This is the thing though. I think all year long, because I had him on my team, Kenneth Walker, okay? Charbonnet was a big part of that running game.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to miss Charbonnet a little bit. I don't know.
All I will say though is since Sharbs has gone out, Kenneth Walker has shown that he's been able to be that workhorse and has he's had over 22 touches a game during this stretch.
Yeah.
And he's been very good with those touches.
I just think Drake May's mobility is going to come into play in this game, and it's gonna extend some drives for them.
For me, it's just like,
and
how
that
are they gonna
Gonzalez guy,
score?
Gonzalez is gonna.
Yeah, but how are the Patriots gonna score?
They've got Booty. They've got
but they've
got Diggs.
But we saw the Rams. Like, the Rams scored on the Seahawks, but even when they needed it the most, they couldn't.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. I see this being a game where the Patriots struggle.
Well, let's think about this. Let's think about this though. All year long, we'd watch one game and be like, "Whoa, all right," and then we'd watch another week and we'd be like,
"But Seattle
what happened
has
to that
done
team?
It all season."
Yeah,
everybody.
Well, I don't know. They didn't play all the best teams.
They played a lot of good teams.
But, they played the Rams, and, the Rams really kind of blew that second game, I feel like, a little bit more.
Yeah.
So a little bit different, I don't know. I just don't think this is going to be as big of a cakewalk for Seattle as you think it'll be. And I just think it's going to be a back and forth game.
Yeah.
But it's going to be New England's going to have to steal the game.
I think this is not going to be a sweated out game for Seattle. I think at all moments of the game they will have.
Here's the bottom line: if you're Seattle, you should win this game.
Oh yeah,
you should win this game. If you don't, it's a huge failure. Because this is not this Patriot team's not the best team in the AFC. They're not. They're not the best team in the AFC. They're not.
I think they are.
No. I don't think so.
I think
they almost lost to Stidham
in the snow.
In the snow, but still, they almost lost to Stidham
in the snow. It's
in
the
Broncos.
Snow.
So
in that kind
they live in the snow.
In that kind of a blizzard, like quarterback,
they handled Texans in the snow.
All I'm saying is Tom Brady in that snow is doing exactly what Drake May or Stidham did.
Okay, and I'll say this because you don't think the home field matters at all, really.
Whoa,
but you said that a few times.
Well, it doesn't matter for the Packers.
Well, yeah. That's true there. But I think that's really why. I mean, the most important thing that the Seahawks did was win home field because that secured them the Super Bowl. Because nobody was going in there and beating them in that atmosphere where you can't communicate. You got to play a perfect game, and it's just hard to play a perfect game there, right? That sealed it for them. And I don't believe
perfect games because Seattle plays a perfect game.
I think they play a conservative game because they have the defense to do it, right? And that's what it comes down to.
That's why it's
because
perfect.
The defense wins championships, and that's what's going to win it for them.
No, it doesn't.
This defense is going to win it. So ultimately, both emotionally and whatever else, unemotionally, I think Seattle wins. I would much rather see them win over New England. I don't know. I'm weird though. When I start watching games, sometimes my allegiance suddenly flips, and I don't know why. Like, you just start watching a game, and there's just a feel to it when you don't have a dog in the fight. You're just like, I don't know. Somebody does something that you think is really messed up, and then you're like, I want the other team to win now. I don't know, but I think New England is going to get to Sam Darnold. I think they're going to sack Sam Darnold.
To me,
and it's going to come down to if he turns the ball over, that's what's going to kill Seattle.
To me, though, like, I view the Rams and the Patriots pass rush as very similar units.
Oh, no. New England's way better.
I don't know about that. I think they're very similar. Explain.
I think they're way better. I think the Rams did not have a solid, consistent defense. And I think...
Yeah, defense, but I'm saying pass rush. I think the pass rush is similar, and I thought Sam Darnold, like, and this is a pass rush that has historically made him, like, see ghosts, and he was able to just completely dice them up.
Yeah.
And I do think, like, if you can take JSN away, I heard Christian Gonzalez is going to be following JSN all game. If that can happen, then that's one thing, and if he can take him away, like Bill Belichick would, he'd take away Tyreek Hill in those AFC championships. But
I mean, New England's a top 10 ranked pass defense, so
yeah,
I mean they're not going to be one that you can easily just throw on.
They also have had the worst schedule in the NFL.
Well, You can only play what's in front of you.
Worst schedule in the NFL.
Well, that's why they're not the best team in the AFC.
No, but that's why I'm saying you can't use past defense as context. You have to look at the players.
Oh, okay. They're still NFL players.
Listen, I'm just
outside of JSN is the wide receiving core for Seattle Elite. Outside of JSN. You take JSN off this team.
You can't just take him off the team. He's playing.
But I'm saying if you did, I'm just saying hypothetically, if you took JSN off, are they in the Super Bowl?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
He's in the Super Bowl.
But if they can find a way to scheme it to make it so you can't get to JSN, it's going to be a lot. They're going to have to be more methodical down the field.
You can't. There are very few. Prime Darrelle Revis is like
Seattle,
one of the
Seattle has hardly blown anybody out. They've only blown bad teams out. Who have they blown out that was good? Teams. Yeah, but they've blown out bad teams. That's what I'm saying.
That's what good teams do.
Okay. Jeez. Okay.
What?
No.
What?
I'm just saying, I'm just not. Seattle, outside of the defense, I don't find them scary. I don't. I don't know why.
At this point, but that's what makes them scary is the defense.
I know, but Josh McDaniels is the assistant coach of the year. Okay,
I don't care.
Josh McDaniels has been there. That coaching staff has been there.
Dude,
they're going to scheme something up. Okay, this is exactly the same situation Tom Brady found himself in 2004.
Here's the thing.
Or 2001.
Here's my argument. We have seen this Patriots offense against the Chargers, who have a pretty good defense. They struggled against the Texans, who have the second best defense. They struggled against the Broncos, who have a top 5 defense. They struggled. They are about to face the best defense in the NFL and the 12th best defense according to DVOA in NFL history.
Okay.
They are going to pressure Drake May all game and lock up those wide receivers. Yeah. Nothing. It's going to be suffocating. Drake May is going to be lucky to put up 13 points on the scoreboard, and maybe Seattle's offense doesn't have the best day. Maybe they get to Sam Darnold.
I just think you discount the capability of the New England defense, though.
I'm discounting.
To force field goals.
I'm discounting the ability of the Patriots' offense. Yeah. I don't think
because
they can
defense
outscore.
Wins championships.
No.
Yeah,
they don't.
The deciding factor in this game is going to be the Seattle defense.
Yeah, this is one example. Defense does not win championships. This we've even said this is a weird year.
Yeah,
most years it's offense that wins championships.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Here's the other thing too. It's gonna come down to who shows up ready. And sometimes the stage becomes too big for some teams.
I think both of these teams could be ready.
I hope so.
I think both these coaches are some of the best in the league.
I hope so.
I think they're both going to be ready to go.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just like Seattle's just the far superior team. They have more avenues to success. And I think we saw...
I don't think the margins are that far.
Listen, if New England in any of these games is facing a better offense, they lose. And they lose handily. If the Texans are able to have a better offense, they lose.
Yeah.
If the Chargers had both their tackles, they might have lost that game. And if the honestly, if Bo Nix plays that game,
what I'm saying.
They lost.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like Seattle, they're completely healthy.
Yeah.
They have the better offense out of anyone that New England has faced so far. And Seattle has the 12th best defense in NFL history, according to DVOA.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, that's pretty impressive. The NFL's been around for 100+ years.
Yeah, but the game changes, so I don't know. I guess it's impressive where you can't put your hands on guys anymore. So
here we go with the old man talking. But I don't know. I'm predicting 27-13.
Wow.
I need a good game.
27-13.
What's your final score prediction?
Oh man, I don't know.
And Super Bowl MVP. I feel like you got to go Patriots now.
No, I just don't see him winning. I kind of just I just want to see a good game. I don't
care at the end of the day.
I don't know. For watching Seattle this year, they've played some games. and I felt like, oh, they should kill this team, and it's been close. Like Philip Rivers and the Colts coming in to Seattle, and they just were out of sync, and they were kicking. I mean, they won that game on 6 field goals, where they should have. Colts were not as good a defense as I think New England even has, right? Colts were not a top defense, and they made life miserable for Darnold. So it's games like that where I'm kind of like, I don't know. I mean,
I think sometimes when you're really good, and I've seen this with the Packers, it's like they don't get up for the games that they think they'll win.
Well, I think they definitely were overlooking Philip Rivers coming in, and then they came in and just kind of punched him in the mouth a little bit. And honestly, I mean, they probably watched film on. Hopefully, they watched film on Drake May and the Patriots and felt like, okay, we've got, we need to still buckle up and go and show up in this game. But
they need to show up, but
I don't know. It's hard for me because back when Tom Brady made his first Super Bowl and was playing the greatest show on turf, I rolled into that going like, oh God, are you kidding me? Like the Raiders were a much better team. They got screwed out of the game in the AFC Championship because of the tuck rule, right? Otherwise, Raiders go on to probably lose to the greatest show on turf. And instead, here's Tom Brady, who the hell's this guy, playing the greatest show on turf. And I'm like, they are going to get destroyed. You would have been watching that game saying that. You'd have been like, they are the number one offense by DVOA, blah, 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 blah. You'd been doing all of that. You'd have been like, there is no way that the defense is going to stop this team.
Brady.
But it wasn't Tom Brady at the time.
There's only one Tom Brady, though.
But I'm just telling you, he wasn't Tom Brady yet.
It doesn't matter. We can look back now and say it was Tom Brady. That's why it happened.
But he just game managed that.
No, it's devil magic.
Yeah. Well, but my point is, I don't know if I ever watched a Super Bowl, except for every one the Bills played in, where I was like certain a team was going to just kill the other team. And that game, I was like, oh yeah, the Rams are going to destroy them. And then I just was like, the whole game, like, oh my gosh.
Well,
honestly, maybe the other one was the Giants and the perfect season Patriots. I thought, no way the Giants win this. They just lost to this Patriot team like 4 weeks ago. At the regular season finale, they lost. There's no way they're going to beat them. So stranger things happen in the Super Bowl. You just never know. Sometimes the stage gets too big for some of these guys, and they get tight. So who is loose? Who is confident? Who shows up? It's probably Seattle.
Seattle could make more mistakes than the Patriots and still win by 2 scores.
Dude, that's not true.
That is true.
Look. These Patriots run the ball well. They run the ball well.
Not really.
Okay, they do.
They're not.
They
great.
do. I think you are. I think you're underestimating them a little bit. I think they'll keep it close. He's a second-year player.
He's a rookie.
Wait, for running back or
Henderson.
Oh, well, whatever. So, who's that really good corner for safety or whatever for the rookie safety? He's hurt.
Worry.
Hurt his ankle. So I don't know how he's going to be in this game.
They said he'll play, but we'll see.
Well, we'll see. But little things like that start creeping up, and you've got some vets out there like Diggs. I don't want Diggs to win a Super Bowl, but that's part of what scares me is that some of these guys are going to be like galvanizing each other, and they're going to like if there's a coach out there right now, it feels like Vrabel is that guy that can like get more out of guys than you think you can get out of them. So. Well, I don't think he will, but I think he'll keep it to a 1-score game.
Here's how I look at it. If New England wins, they didn't win, Seattle lost. If Seattle wins, Seattle won. It comes out of that.
It'll just depend, I guess. I mean,
I don't see a scenario where if Seattle plays their game, they lose. If they are out of character,
I've said that so many times with the Packers, and they lose all the time because they don't play their game.
Well, we don't have a game.
Sometimes
we get dictated. They dictate.
Well, regardless, here's a team in Seattle that nobody picked at the beginning of the season to be in the Super Bowl, and here they are. And actually, both teams. Nobody picked New England to be there.
Nobody
picked Seattle to be there. So look, they're there. They got hot at the right time. They played their game. They played their style. They believe all that stuff, and whoever wins is going to be deserving of it. So.
But there's also the angle that this is a revenge game for Seattle. Last time they faced the Patriots in the Super Bowl, they threw a pick at the 1 yard line.
True, but there's not a player on that team still.
There's executives.
Well,
there's front office guys.
Yeah, but
there's coaches.
Yeah, but I just, they know this isn't the same team. This isn't Tom Brady. This isn't any of that. So,
but you were saying that you were talking about.
And honestly, in that game though, I really felt like Seattle was going to win that game, even obviously before they were on the 1 yard line. I went into that thinking Seattle was going to win it.
Yeah.
It felt like they would. And that was going up against Brady, but it's just kind of that same thing. Seattle gets to the Super Bowl. And they get there primarily on defense. So
you want to put $100 on the game?
No.
Come on.
Heck no.
It's
not worth betting on these two teams.
Why?
No way.
No
Why
fun.
would I?
No fun.
Because we know Seattle's going to win. I'm not taking New England.
Why?
You'd bet 100 on New England winning?
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't. You're going to bet $100 on New England winning.
Go on.
Are you serious?
Yeah, $100.
$100. You'd pay me $100?
$100.
Okay, $100. I got Seattle. You got New England.
Got New England.
Why would you do that? You're going to pay me $100.
Oh yeah, but now I got like, I hate Seattle cheering for New England, but then I got the dynamics. I think Seattle's going to win, but then I have bets on New England.
Oh my gosh.
That's how I can maintain. Hey, listen.
$100. Okay.
Hey, I'm 3-0 betting big money on the Super Bowl. Last year, I bet on the Eagles.
Let's just say, look, nobody but New England fans are picking New England. So
70% of the money
everyone thinks Seattle's winning this game.
Most ever.
So if there's anybody coming in feeling disrespected, it's not Seattle.
No,
it's New England. So that can be a motivator. I don't know. So honestly, physicality. If Patriots played a very physical game against that Giants, that out in, where were we? I can't remember. South Dakota, out in South Dakota on that pheasant hunt. And we watched that game and they were hitting guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still NFL players. It doesn't matter, right? Because honestly, the margins aren't that wide between these teams, between any NFL team. But it doesn't need to be for them to look awful either. Yeah. So, but they bring some physicality. So if they can bring that physicality and hit Seattle a little bit.
Well, that's the thing. That's what Seattle does to you, so they got to match that immediately.
Yeah. And you got to match the physicality.
Listen, if I'm the Patriots, if I win the toss, I'm taking the ball. And I'm like, we're going to go and we're going to silence this defense real quick. Because, if you can go... And it's going to be tough because, Seattle, I don't even know how many opening drive touchdowns they've allowed this year. Probably none. If you can go down there and just punch them in the mouth, that's a statement.
If there's a good offensive coordinator out there that can scheme a game, it's got to be Josh McDaniels. He just can't do it when he's the head coach, right? He can never do it when he's head coach, but for some reason, he had Drake May playing at an MVP caliber level, right?
Some guys who can't do the coaching, the head coach. He's not a CEO type guy.
But they've seen this. They've seen this defense before. They've seen this type of defense. There's no defense that McDaniels hasn't seen, right? So, I don't know. If there's a guy that can do it, the question is going to be execution. He's going to have a game plan that'll work, but can they execute? That's the question.
I think they're a little too early in this journey.
Yeah, I think they got here a year. They got here a couple years early.
They're a team that, in a few years, when Will Campbell's a veteran player, Henderson's a veteran player,
because
they grow into it.
I think the Packers would have gone into Seattle and scored more points.
Yeah,
than 49ers. I think we could have. Sure. I think we could have schemed something. I don't think we'd win, but I think we would have made it a competitive game.
I think we would have won.
You think we would have won?
That's what Brian Gutekunst said in his press conference.
That we would have beat Seattle?
Yeah, he's like, we would have beaten Seattle.
I think we have an underestimated group of wide receivers out there, right? Puka and Devontae, obviously, and Stafford, they know how to move the ball on Seattle. So if you had to be watching some of that film,
But
and saying like, okay, is there anything we could take away that two receivers that aren't quite Puka and Devontae could still maybe do?
Puka. But I mean, we saw evidence in the game where, like, I mean, I feel like Seattle's corners got burned, and it wasn't anything especially great from Puka or Devontae.
Yeah, I think the corners for Seattle is probably their weakest point. It's really those
other than Spoon.
Spoon. Yeah, the others I think are they're their weakest part of that defense, and that's not saying much because they're still pretty good. That's the weakest part, but their front is their toughest.
Their front, their linebackers.
So the offensive line for New England's going to have its work cut out for them. But I'm just hopeful it's a close game. I just want it to be good. Just give me a good Super Bowl. I'll be happy for whoever wins. I'll give them their kudos. No, just we'll be happy for it. I'll win $100 because Seattle's gonna win. So
$100 coming my way. I gotta cook up all my Super Bowl parlays tonight, making sure I'm locked and loaded. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're gonna win big. I already got 3 different bets on the first song that Bad Bunny will play during sing during the halftime show.
And there's no chance JSN gets the MVP because Darnold will be throwing those touchdowns.
Yeah, that's the problem. So, but unless he makes like a crazy like Hail Mary catch to win,
I'll go Darnold MVP.
Yeah, honestly, I think
just to stick it to Minnesota.
That would be awesome. Actually, I know the Paul Farrington show would freak out.
Yes.
I don't think he can handle.
This is their nightmare right now. They let Sam Darnold leave and he goes to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, honestly, it's worst nightmare.
This was close to almost the Packers' worst nightmare when Favre was taking the Vikings there.
Yeah,
and the Packer fans were like, "Are you kidding me? He's gonna go win it with the Vikings?"
Yeah. And then the Packers won in the year after.
Yep.
Hey, does that mean the Vikings are gonna win it next year?
No.
I don't know.
I mean, only if they get Burrow.
Yeah, I mean that would also.
They're not getting Burrow.
That would be 10 times worse. But yeah, that's it for today's episode. Hopefully you enjoy your Super Bowl. Eat some good food. Hang out with friends and family. Enjoy the halftime show, even if you don't speak Spanish or can't understand it. Just whatever. Just like enjoy it. It should be fun. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. All those things help out a ton. Yeah, have a great night. Enjoy tomorrow's game, and we'll see you in the next one.